Today I'm going to show you how to sew the easiest beginner sewing project. These fabric lanyards sew up in about 10 or 15 minutes, and if you batch sew them, meaning you want to make a whole bunch at one time, I'll also show you that, and it takes even less time and very little fabric. I have created some printable pattern pieces for you to use in the 1/2 inch size, the 1 inch size, and even a child size. And here is my little girl and the one that she made because this project is so easy. I taught both of my youngest children how to sew using this pattern this summer. We are creating this one today because my daughter also wanted to make something for her grandma, and we are attaching it to a eyeglass holder case that we also made together, and I created printable product gift tags to wrap around it. So if you want to see a tutorial for that as well, just comment below and let me know, and I'll release that one next. As with all of my new patterns, I always create some kind of printable gift tag or product tag if you are sewing these to gift or to sell, or you just want to make them look nice and professional for your event. And you are welcome to use those as well. The link to the pattern is below in the description box, or if you comment the word Aloha, I will send you the pattern link so that you can print that PDF off and start sewing along with me today. So if you've never sewn before, you can start here. My kids created about 100 of these for our neighborhood kids craft sale, which was super cute, and they are super easy to make. If you are new here, I'm Heather. I'm a nurse, mama four, and the designer behind Aloha Sewing Company, where I teach you to sew the easy way using my printable patterns. This tutorial is part of my 60 Patterns to Sew It Forward project series, in honor of my dad who took his last breath just 2 days after his 60th birthday. So I'm designing 60 sewing patterns. We are donating 60 of them, and we are trying to spread the kindness by sewing it forward. So join me on my journey. And please like this video and subscribe to help get this video out to more people. Now let's get started. Here's what you're going to need. 1/8 of a yard of fabric if you're just making 1 or 2. That makes 2 1/2-inch ones and 1 1-inch one. But with a full yard, you can make 18 1/2-inch lanyards or 9 1-inch lanyards. You need your lanyard hardware. I am using a swivel hook, and I will link everything that I'm using down below in the description box. And you also need the printable pattern. These printable care cards, if you watch until the end, I will show you how I package these for gift giving or donating. The link below in the description box will bring you to the PDF sewing pattern. It is professionally designed. You can also comment Aloha and I will send you the link. Then you are going to print those sewing pattern pieces out. Then you're going to assemble them and cut them out. Not all of them require assembly, but I'll show you if they do. Trace the pattern piece onto your fabric, and then you are ready to cut the fabric out and start sewing. For this project, you do need to tape or glue the 2 pieces of your paper together, and all you do is cut the straight line where the dashed line is at the bottom of your first paper, and then you just overlap the 2 together and tape, glue, staple, use whatever you have on hand to attach these 2 together. After you have done that, all you have to do is cut out your pattern piece and trace it onto your fabric like I will show you now. We are making these now that the craft fair is over for my kids for their teachers. I called their school and there's about 100 staff members all together, they said. So that's what their summer project plan is with all of mom's scrap fabric. Where you see it say cut on the fold, like I showed you there, just make sure your fabric is folded when you trace your fabric. So that way when you cut it out, it's this one big long strip. Makes it way easier. Now the next step is we are going to get our iron and we are going to fold it in half hot dog style with the pretty sides of the fabric up, just like this. And we're going to do that all the way down your strip. Open that up and you will see the crease we made down the center of this. That's your guide mark. Bring the bottom raw edge to that guide mark, the creased middle, and iron that all the way down the middle, all the way down your strip. Now flip your strip to the other side and do the same thing with the other raw edges. Just iron it all the way down and make sure you use some steam. You want to make it nice and flat. Then you're going to meet those two edges together and iron that all the way down. I like to batch sew these when we are sewing them for our teachers. So my kids, I don't let them use the iron quite yet. Then my youngest two are only 5 and 7. So this is how I do it. I just bring it out to my kitchen, even though I have a studio, but that way I can keep an eye on the kids while I'm ironing their little lanyard fabrics. So just do this all at one time, and then we're going to do each step if you're batch sewing all at the same time. So now this is what we have. We have our strip of fabric folded like you would bias tape, and these are 1/2 inch and 1 inch D-ring swivel hooks. They have a little clasp so that you can clip it to something, and you are just going to put that onto your strip of fabric just like I did here. It doesn't matter which way it's facing right now. Now make sure your fabric piece is not twisted up, and what we're going to do to hide our sewing seam is the two raw edges, you're going to completely open them up just like I'm doing here. And with the pretty sides together, we are going to match the raw edges at the top just like this. And we are going to sew about 1/4 of an inch away, really close to the edge here, a straight line. Now this is not going to show, this is just your seam to hold these two pieces of fabric together. And I love this way because you don't see any raw edges on the finished lanyard. So here's what it looks like all sewn together. So now you have a loop of fabric. Go ahead and press open your seam and then fold it back to the way that we ironed it. So you're going to fold it in half, fold those raw edges in on the top and bottom, and then fold those back together. I like to do this right here at the seam so that my seam is nice and lined up, and then I put a pin or clip. Now normally I don't pin or clip around the entire thing because I've made these so many times, but for my kids I'm going to do that. Now we're going to take it to our sewing machine and we're going to sew all the way around. We're going to top stitch. So just a straight line on this side and on the other side. You want to close those two fabric pieces together. So if you only want to sew this one side that I'm doing here to close the two fabric pieces together, you can. You don't have to do two straight lines. It's fine just the way it is, but it does give it more of a professional look if you sew both of the edges. If you are a beginner sewer, what I use for my kids is a seam guide that's magnetic, and it clips right here on your sewing machine and helps you sew a straight line. I will link one of those down in the description box below if any of you are teaching your kids or you are a beginner sewer and want to make sure you can sew a straight line. We are also going to make a bunch of these for an upcoming cruise that we are going on because you know how you have those cruise cards that you have to carry around. These clip right to the cruise card. So we are gifting these around our cruise, which I'm really excited about. So this is what it looks like all sewn. I just pinch my seam together and bring it all the way to the other end where my lanyard is, my lanyard attachment D-ring here. And then we're going to sew a straight line right here. What I like to do is I go ahead and place it under my sewing machine foot and I line it up right here where the metal clasp is. So my foot is just lined up right here, and that gives me my straight line. You want to start and stop with a back stitch so that way you lock your stitches in place and this does not come undone. Literally, you guys, this is all it takes to sew this. In less than a few minutes, you can make so many of these. Well, probably more than a few minutes, but you know what I mean. They're super easy, super quick. The concept is very easy. And here are the printable tags that I also made that you can use. I recommend printing them on cardstock. I'm going to cut one out now just to show you how it looks. And then you just use a hole punch, and you see the little heart at the top of my tag? That's a guide mark so that you can just place your hole punch right over it and punch a hole in it. Now, because we made child size versions too, I also made one that says child size, so that way if you are gifting or selling these, people can know the difference. So you don't have to hole punch them if you don't want to. If you have like cute little cello, however you say that, Fane bags, you can also just slide your lanyard in it and then slide the product tag inside the bag without putting a hole punch in it. Totally up to you how you want to use them or if you want to use them at all. Again, the one I made is for this eyeglass holder. If you want to see a tutorial for how to make this, the eyeglasses don't fall out. They are perfect for anybody who has reading glasses, sunglasses, anything like that. It holds glasses. It can even hold a pen or a marker if it's for a teacher gift, and they don't fall out. That's the most perfect part of it. And you don't have to attach the lanyard to this if you don't want to. You don't even have to have this little part at the top. I just like to have it for the lanyard. Here's the little cute product tag that I made for that. You are also welcome to use these. If you want to see a tutorial for it, again, just comment below and let me know, and I will take some time this week to make that video. Thanks so much for spending a little time sewing with me today. Click on the screen to subscribe so you can follow along with all 60 patterns in this series. And you can also click one of the videos here on your screen and we can make something else together. And before you go, mahalo.